Hey peeps! Welcome to my channel. I am Ducky, also known as Ducky Craft here on YouTube, and don't tread on me, I am a duck over on TikTok. Here I do a lot of AITA and occasionally some MLM shallow dives. Over on TikTok I talk about like world events and type 1 diabetes. Those are what I talk about. So let's get some house cleaning out of the way. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you are so inclined, of course no is a sentence and you are allowed to be like, I'm not doing that. That's fine too. But anything to get me in front of the algorithm gods and make them like me. And we are going to be doing some more AITA. I can't swear in the first 30 to 60 seconds of a video because YouTube censors things like the 1990s are going out of style when they went out of style 30 years ago. Can confirm. Anyway, so our first one that I picked. Now, all I have done with these is I've read the title, and that's it. And if the title makes me go, spicy, I tap on it. This is not too long. I got some long ones a while back, like some really long ones, and I was like, oh my goodness. I do like to read a few comments, especially if I notice that the original poster has responded to comments. So the glasses, for you guys, it is probably September going into October by this point, but for me, it is June, which is Pride Month. If you don't like that, I'm sorry that my existence offends you. Haven't said that in a while, had to get it in there somewhere. So, first one I'm going to read today is AITA for turning up at the house my partner's car was at when he told me he was going somewhere else. Immediately intrigued. So, me and this man have been together for just over 3 years. I suspected nothing. He told me he was going over to one of his guy friends' houses, a guy friend who I know and whose house I know. He left, and around 2 hours later, my friend texted me saying, "Why does partner's name know who lives on street name?" I said, as far as I'm aware, or who does partner's name know who lives on street name? I said, as far as I'm aware, nobody. Why? She told me his car was parked in the driveway of a house on a certain street in our town. Ruh-roh, when the friends tattle. So clearly, he wasn't at his friend's house. I don't know if this is psycho behavior, but I asked her for the address, and I went there. I don't know why I didn't text him first or anything like that to see if he'd lie. Or maybe he and his friend had gone to another person's house. I have no idea. But as soon as my friend said that, I just got in my car and went to see if it was his car. Okay. Initially, I'm gonna reserve judgment and be like, well, you were just curious, right? It was his car. I sat down the street and then texted him asking if he was having a good time. Oh, she did text him. She did kind of confront him. He texted back straight away and said he was, and that he and his friends were building his new PC together. So I knew instantly he was lying. So she did give him a chance to come clean, and he didn't. Why am I enjoying this so much? I'm so petty. I went over to the house and knocked on the door. A woman answered. I had no idea who she was, but I could tell by the way her face dropped that she knew exactly who I was. I kept my shit together and just said, tell him his shit will be on the front lawn when he wants to come and get it. And I left. Another hour passed, and he came home while I was gathering up his things. He had the nerve to instantly start kicking off at me, telling me that me going there was psycho and that I was crazy for pulling that stunt. Why? She could have just been driving down the street and happened to notice your car. I mean, you don't know how she got the info. I'm so petty. Let me see. I didn't say anything, just carried on gathering his things. He kept telling me to stop, and I didn't. So he got in front of me and said, stop, and that's when I lost it. I shoved him away from me and started crying, told him to get his shit and get out. I then locked myself in my office room and waited for him to leave. This happened last night. Some of his shit is still here. He didn't take much. Seems he just took a bunch of his clothes and his toiletries. Haven't heard from him, and I haven't texted him either. But was I, AITA, for turning up to his house, the house that he was at? She says, we'll roll with it. I think she might have typed this when she was upset, so sometimes words are hard when you're upset. Believe me, I know that one. So the first comment is, you know you weren't. Immediately, girl, you know you weren't in the wrong. You know you weren't. He done got caught, and now he's mad because he, total faffo. For turning up there, though, I don't think I'm AITA in the situation as a whole, but he made me feel like me going there was absolutely psychotic behavior, and I really wondered if it was, and if anyone here would have done the same. Yes. Warning to my boyfriend. Yes. But that's where I was saying, you could have just been driving down the street. You could have been like, hey, I need to go over to, go to the grocery store and pick up, such and such an item. And you see his car. And you're like, hey, that looks like my boyfriend's car. That's weird. And then you go down and you're texting him and he's like, oh, yeah, no, I meant so-and-so's house. And you're like, so-and-so's not on this street. It's on it right here. So no, I would say that's not psychotic behavior. I mean, maybe going up to the door. I wouldn't have gone up to the door, but I'm very, very introverted. So this is where my petty would take a whole new level. I'd have been taking pictures of his car in front of that house, time-stamped pictures, and then later been like, so what were you doing there? Although knocking on the door and having the woman go, having the face fall, and the woman knowing exactly who the original poster is, that's kind of priceless too. So totally not NTA there, and I'm not even psychotic behavior, because to me that's just, it's not. So I'm gonna find another one and I will read it here in a sec. So with politics being how they are right now, I saw this title and I just went, I gotta read this one. What better than right here? So I'm going to put a slight trigger warning for any of my viewers who really have a problem with this topic. Here's your warning. It is going to be discussing abortion. It's like right in the title. I haven't actually read it yet, but it's in the title. So if that's something that bothers you, or you don't want to discuss, or you're going to come at me and do the whole Bible, Jesus, God, Christians, and if you just believe the way I believed, please click off now. Okay? That's where we're going to stand on this. However, if that is not something that bothers you, or you're intrigued and you can hold religious judgment, people in my personal life need to learn to do that. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you get to judge everybody around you. I really, really wish we could hammer that into some heads. So, here we go. And then it's AITA for telling my husband I'm getting an abortion and don't care how he feels about it. Now, immediately my brain goes, well, that's your right. That, lump of cells is still a part of you. That's why I say, reserve your judgment, peoples. And if you can't handle that, I'm sorry my existence offends you. Not really, but gotta say it. I'm literally rethinking my life right now. I don't get why people force something that's not meant to be there. My husband and I have 4 kids. They filled the gap. Okay, so you have 4 children already. Yikes. Nothing against people that have kids. Don't think I'm taking it that way, but that's just, I could not handle having, the most I had in my house at one time was 3, and I was going bonkers. So 4 is, I don't know how my mother did it. Let me put it that way. I don't know how she did it. Props to my mama. We are happy with them, and they are great kids. I love my kids, but I don't want any more, okay? I talked to my husband about this many times, who shared both of our concerns, who showed both of our concerns. I don't, language there, that's not worded well. He agreed to get a vasectomy. I thought everything was going smooth. Oh, did he lie about a vasectomy? Oh my God, that's dirty. I might be wrong. I thought everything was going smooth. I thought coming into this marriage it would be truth, but it wasn't. My husband chose to lie to me to get what he wanted, and honestly, I don't look at him the same. And I believed him because after his surgery, he was walking like it hurt, so I felt bad and helped him recover. Well, he fooled me. Oh no. Oh no, that's dirty. That's akin to rape. Oh, I just used the word. If I don't remember to edit it out, sorry, and I didn't give a trigger warning there. But like in some states, that is actually considered, that's considered a form of non-consensual, because she thought he'd had a vasectomy. She thought birth control wasn't a problem. Oh my gosh. Some weeks passed. I was weird because I would feel nauseous, stomach pain. I thought it was a stomach bug, so I was just drinking remedies. My period didn't come, but I wasn't worried about it. But it's when I started to notice things from my previous pregnancies. My boobs, throwing up, the smell of things. I booked an appointment because I didn't know what was going on until I found out I was 4 weeks pregnant. Mind you, this didn't go immediately into my head because my husband got a vasectomy. Well, or so I thought. I wasn't excited. I went home pissed. My husband was the first person I told. His face was shocked, but somewhat happy. Oh no. The specific question was in my head. I'm under stress, so I'm under stress, so I asked my husband if he actually got the vasectomy. Boy, when I tell you he was silent as a mouse, it took him about 5 minutes to say something. Oh my. Oh yeah, no, that's divorce.com. To quote D'Angelo, divorce.com. His facial expression told me he was caught. I was extremely mad because why would he do that? And yes, I kept asking him why, and he didn't give me a full answer. He just said he wanted more kids with me, but she doesn't want any more. What part of that? Okay. And that's where I'm saying that's where it's non-consensual. She didn't know. So anyone who wants to come at me and be like, well, you just don't understand. I do understand. When a woman says they don't want to have another child or don't want to have a child, that is her right. And if you don't think that's her right, I've got some prisons that you're welcome to go visit. Okay. That threw me off even more. He then said he was sorry for lying and we can do good by our next child. That's when I told him I'm getting an abortion. I don't care how he feels about it. Yes, I'm still early, but my doctor can prescribe the pill. Yeah, 4 weeks, so before the 10-week mark, you can do the chemical abortion. Wow. Oh, I gotta let my kitty cat out. I'll be right back. I tried to get him on camera because everyone loves it when I get the cats to come on camera, but he was like, I don't want it and you can't make me. And I was like, okay, bye. Leave the room. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Which I was the one closing the door, so I didn't let it hit him on the way out. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand. Majorly not okay. So before I read some of the comments, because it looks like a lot of people are on her side, 100%, that is, I don't know what state they're in, is the problem. Now, she mentioned that she can get the pill. She's in a state where it's not illegal, or at least before a certain point. So I guess even, not to really poke at politics, but even in Georgia, 6 weeks. So she's only 4 weeks. She can definitely get care, and she needs to act now, because I don't know where she's at in the country. Because the bans are weird. Some states it's 6 weeks. Those are the most extreme. And some states it's up to 15 weeks. Which, it is what it is. So the first comment says, and I'm not editing this, I'm just going to go with it. Oh, he fucked up big time. That is some psycho-narcissistic BS. Absolutely. And that's where my brain was going. Does he happen to be religious and talking about spreading his legacy all over the world? Because I've heard that from men. Oh my God. Here's what you can argue in court. Why I'm reading this. It could be rape by deception. Thank you. Rape by deception. I was trying to think what the actual charge would be. He lied to you that there is no chance of pregnancy to get your consent. But the fact is, your consent was invalid due to his deception. 2, reproductive coercion. Yes! Okay, this person is my spirit child, or my spirit soulmate? There we go, soulmate. Not really, my boyfriend might be upset if I'd said that. He manipulated and lied to you about the potential outcomes. He literally tried to manipulate the reproductive outcome, the outcome of you getting pregnant against your consent. The rest... Girl, sue his ass for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Like, really, right? Like, absolutely, there's your reason for divorce right there. Get the evidence, get your children, and move. It's time for a divorce. I wish you all the best. Definitely NTA. Oh, interesting. Oh, the next comment. She shouldn't leave. She should kick his ass out. She shouldn't have to suffer more disruption by finding a place and moving her children. I didn't say this at all, but I would divorce him without any second thoughts. No matter how good the rest of your relationship was, how could you ever look at him the same? Yeah, that would kill it right there for me. That would just absolutely destroy it. How could you ever truly trust him? You have all the cards in your hand. Use them properly. Contact a divide layer. I think she meant divorce lawyer, and autocorrect got them immediately, and have him served saying he needs to move. After going through a lawyer, you legally do not have to have any cutest with him. Boy, autocorrect was getting this person bad. Any contact with him unless it's about the kids. Even then, the courts have an appointment that you can use to tally to each other. I think, yeah. And then it ends with, please update me. Doesn't appear OP has responded, but like, yeah, definitely a lot of people going with the violation of trust and just, oh my, that's a yikes. like, if there are any men watching this and you think that that is an intelligent thing to do, that, oh, I'll just lie to her about getting a vasectomy. She's gonna know when she comes up pregnant. She's gonna know. And you can't turn around and say, well, you cheated on me. That's a thing called DNA. She's gonna freaking know. There's a done. Like, oh my God. Wow. Yikes. So like I said, I can't even say if I were her, because I have a uterus that is not conducive to life. Thank God! I actually prayed to Sky Daddy. That's what I'd be saying. Thank Loki, because he understood my actual wants in life. Holy yikes, that's not okay. So, if you were still with me, and you weren't completely triggered off the video, and my political comments sneaking through, because that's a yikes. Thanks for hanging out. Please remember to like, subscribe, or comment, or do something. It never hurts to vacuum the house twice. I'm just saying. Gotta get it out. And, there's like a sticky spot in this wig. There we go. I got it. Ah! Oh, it's shedding! Anyway. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to me ramble for however long it ends up being. And I hope to see you next week. I post every Tuesday. Later, peeps.